Tune Airport received a message from an aircraft
press conference from the plane that crashed earlier today. This is Don Aaron from Metro Police. Let's listen in.
And needed emergency approval to land. Approval was given to land on runway 2 at John Tune Airport. The pilot then radioed that the aircraft was not going to make it. The aircraft has crashed behind the Costco store just off the eastbound lanes of I-40. This is a single-engine aircraft that had several persons on board. It appears that everyone on board perished. At this moment, I can tell you there were, again, several individuals on board. The exact number will need to be determined once we can actually get into the wreckage and do some more exploration into the wreckage. At this moment, we are working with federal authorities to determine from where the plane originated. At this moment, we do not know that. According to witnesses, the plane was coming over the I-40 area from the north and then crossed over the lanes of the interstate and then crashed there just behind the Costco on a grassy median of I-40. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board will be conducting the investigation into why the plane went down, the circumstances surrounding the crash. Neither of those entities is on scene at this moment. The Nashville Police Department, the Nashville Fire Department is on the scene, along with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, the Nashville International Airport Police, and the scene is being stabilized until federal authorities arrive. Kendra Loney from the Nashville Fire Department will talk about her agency's immediate response as they arrived on the scene.
The Nashville Fire Department was dispatched to the crash site immediately, as there were several witnesses who saw the plane crash in that median area that Don described. When the crash did go down, it did, as witnesses described, implode on impact. That impact was catastrophic and did not leave any survivors. When our crews arrived on scene, they were met with heavy flames and fire, smoke in the area showing from that crash site. They were able to extinguish that fire and also preserve the evidence from that scene so that the appropriate agencies can come and investigate what led to this deadly crash. We are saddened by the loss of souls that were on board, but we are proud of the work that everyone is doing to stabilize this incident and to make sure that there were no additional casualties that came from that. There were some bits of the crash sites that did kind of scatter around the scene, but crews were able to quickly gather those pieces so that there were no additional injuries from people that might be passing by on the interstate, and quickly set aside the scene to make sure that it was safe for everybody that was passing by. The interstate is shut down at this time for investigations that are going to be ongoing for quite some time, and it might be opening up here in some capacity, but people can expect delays in the area.
Again, the FAA and NTSB will be conducting this investigation. Neither of those entities is on the scene at this point. I believe the FAA will arrive at some time during the night. The NTSB may be a little bit longer. Are there any questions?
Were there any vehicles caught in this crash?
No vehicles were damaged. And I guess we are fortunate that the aircraft did not hit any buildings as it went down. It is just behind the rear of the Costco store.
So you said multiple people, but you don't know the number yet?
Multiple people have perished, and our hearts go out to those individuals and their families. We don't know who those persons are at this point, nor do we have an exact count of fatalities. Understand that, as Kendra described the scene, the plane burst into flames. The fire department had to put the flames out, and we need to go through the wreckage to determine how many persons were on board. There were several persons on board, but the total confirmed number I don't have at this point.
If you said this, I apologize. Do we know where the aircraft aircraft took off from?
No, we are working now with federal authorities to determine from where the plane originated. Whether there was a flight plan or anything such as that. Obviously, that's something the FAA and NTSB will be getting into in more detail. I just don't have that information at this juncture. And we looked for a tail number on the aircraft, and we don't see a tail number on the aircraft in the wreckage as it currently sits.
How was it discovered that the plane was having issues? Did the pilot give out a mayday call?
Yes. As I described initially, yes.
Okay. Did you give any indication of what was occurring, or just that they were not?
As I said earlier, the plane, according to the pilot, the plane was experiencing engine and power issues.
How long was it between when the plane initially made that mayday call and the plane crashed?
Well, it was around 7:40 that the tower received the call, and I think the first emergency response call to the Emergency Communications Center was 7:44, so it was a very short period of time.
Are there indications that he tried to set it down on the interstate, or is it just that he crashed on his way to Tune?
Well, according to some witness information, their plane was obviously in distress as it was coming over the interstate right before it hit the ground. And again, Jimmy, coming in from the north, from a northerly direction to the south, he hadn't lined up as far as the interstate was concerned. I think he was having significant issues keeping the aircraft under control.
Can you confirm it was a male pilot?
I don't know that. I haven't heard the tapes.
Are there
All right.
Are there any indications whether he may have hit cell phone towers, poles, things like that? Because there are some of those in this area also.
No. No indications that anything else was struck.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all.
All right, it looks like they're wrapping from the scene there behind the Costco. The site of this plane crash here. It happened about 7:45 tonight. We've been on the air multiple times since. And Marius, a couple of clarifications here. I have a feeling, because we have followed FlightAware and we've got confirmation of where this plane, we actually know more than Don Aaron does at the scene about where this plane originated.
Yep, we know that it originated in Canada, and it made a couple flights before going. It was in Kentucky before coming here to John C. Tune, and after taking off at John C. Tune, about 3 miles south of John C. Tune is where that plane went down at about 7:44. We know it was a power failure. They had called back to John C. Tune and said, hey, we need permission to land, and that plane did not make it.
Yeah. So again, multiple people. We just don't have a firm number, and as you've heard, Don Aaron say, they have to get into the wreckage to find out the total number. We've got our crews on the scene. Michael Warwick is out there live, right behind all of that restaurant row and the Costco. So tell us what more you've learned here in the last few minutes since we've seen you, Michael.
Well, we've watched as the Nashville Fire Department described as an ambulance whizzes by. Likely appears something unrelated, but there are more than 24 first responders out here on the scene, and as the fire department described, they are working to stabilize the scene for those federal investigators to come in here and determine what exactly went wrong with this plane. We actually just saw 2 firefighters, fire trucks leave the scene, which give us a better vantage point of this crash, and you can see what's left of this single engine plane, the debris from it scattered up, basically crushed down into one smaller piece up on the embankment of I-40 East. This is right behind the Nashville West Shopping Center. So we are standing on the shoulder of I-40 West. What is closed as a result of this crash are all lanes on I-40 East around the Charlotte Pike exit, around the Nashville West Shopping Center. So we've watched as more than 24 first responders set up basically for these federal investigators. We've seen big light posts go up, these portable lights that they can shine down on the crash site so that these investigators, once they can come in, they can look into it and see if there's some sort of evidence where they can use to decide and determine what went wrong with this plane. You heard Don Aaron there say that it didn't strike anything. It just got close to the airport and then went down into this embankment and essentially exploded into a fireball, leaving all the people on board dead. So you can see emergency management out here, the fire department, police, working to have this scene ready for those investigators. You can even see all the way down the eastbound lane. So this is looking away from Nashville. All these first responders who are basically lined up in the eastbound lanes working this scene. So we've actually seen some people leave, we've seen some people go, and right now at this hour we're waiting for those investigators to get here as we're all wondering what caused this plane to go down. It's interesting hearing you guys talk about that data from FlightAware showing apparently how far this plane had come and was traveling, and for it to go down here on the interstate. You know, it's terrible, the lives that were lost, but you think about the cars that would have been out here at that time of day. We're fortunate no more lives were lost, but certainly our hearts, our prayers go out to the several people on board as we work to find out who they are and where they were coming from. We'll stay out here as this scene continues to be very active, and we imagine, as they had said in that news conference, that those investigators are on their way right now, and kudos to the teams out here who have this scene ready for them to begin analyzing that debris. Marius, Tracy.
Michael Ward, thank you for reporting live. And let's put this kind of in perspective, Tracy. That swatch of grass between the freeway and the buildings,
narrow,
very narrow. You have buildings on one side, you have traffic on the others, and it might not be a coincidence that it landed right there.
Could be a very skilled pilot who was trying to minimize the damage, right, and minimize the impact to lives. As Michael mentioned, these are very crowded shopping centers in all of these areas, and it didn't hit any power lines, all of those kinds of things. But the impact on the roads right now at this hour, 9:57 on those eastbound lanes, and you've got all that Memphis traffic and semis coming from the FedEx corporate headquarters in Memphis heading this way. You have that litany of cars of emergency personnel probably to get as far ahead of this so that they can get a detour established, because we understand the traffic around this West Nashville area is awful right now.
Kendra Loney from the Nashville Fire Department told us that this interstate will be shut down for quite some time. They might do a little detour to help ease the traffic burden just a little bit. But, I mean, this is going to be a massive investigation. They've brought out the lights. They're waiting on the FAA. They're waiting on the NTSB to arrive so they can do their investigations. I'm sure looking for a black box, looking for anything that would help them determine why this aircraft went down. Yeah, there may be a lot of traffic routed through the Nations. There may be traffic routed through Ashland City. I mean, it'll be impacting a lot of neighborhoods in this West Nashville area. If you were just joining us here, we continue to wait for new information, especially in regards to the lives lost, which may be a while. Don Aaron was talking about witnesses, multiple witnesses saying that aircraft went down and it exploded instantly. It was almost as if, I mean, all those, that's just hope that there was little pain when it comes to a crash like this, but just how disturbing for so many people on their evening commute, little late evening commute, to witness. We just got some video in that we want you to look at. This is from Safety Vid. This is, we're looking at this for the first time as well. This is some of the T-dot cameras. Oh, look at that. You see the explosion in the background there. This is a new look that we have just gotten into the newsroom here exclusively with one of our sources that works with our Investigates team. That is the impact from what the T-dot cameras caught. As soon as that a fly? Yeah, you just saw you saw a plane go across the interstate. It looked like a plane, Yes, what looked like a plane, and then you see a ball of light right there. And then here it is, the aftermath. So this person has edited this for us, and this is the end result. And you talk about there it goes again, of that aircraft crossing over that camera really quickly, and that it ends up in that small swath of grass, as you mentioned there, Marius, out of any kind of vehicle, out of any kind of massive, highly populated area. And that is really, that's quite significant. Yeah, once again, we're at the 10 o'clock hour right now. We want to set the scene, give you a reset on what's been going on. We know that a plane has crashed on I-40 eastbound near mile marker 203. We know several people were on that plane. Those several people have lost their lives. It happened about 7:43 this evening. And we've continued to cover this here on WSMV4. Thank you for joining us here at 10 o'clock. I'm Tracy Cornett. This is Marius Payton. Our crews in the field, multiple crews out there for this
idea, this vantage point, as we continue to see different angles, as well as where the emergency personnel who are giving us updates there at the Target nearby, where we just heard from Metro Police.
Now, there's buildings on one side, there's a freeway on the other side. So if you ever travel there, it's right behind the Costco where the Target and the Outback Steakhouse is that sits up there. Then you have the interstate. It's in that little small piece of grass where that aircraft has crashed.
So it looks like crews have at least started to open a couple of lanes, maybe not to the general public, but at least emergency crews can get in and out here, as the NTSB and the FAA are expected to arrive there on scene to investigate and get into the wreckage. And Don Aaron from Metro Police kept talking about that until they really know and get inside. Can we find out how many people were on this plane?
Yeah, a lot of unknowns tonight. We know, here's what we do know. We know that the pilot called in a power failure, asked for permission to land. Obviously, that plane did not have enough power to make it back to John C. Toon. It was about 3 miles south of John C. Toon when it wrecked. We saw a video of the plane coming across the interstate before it burst into flames.
And you're seeing, this is witness video here on the right-hand side. This is cell phone video, and we continue to get more cell video in. We're going to bring it to you as soon as we can turn it around and get it on TV for you. So just imagine being on that side of the interstate, driving, going, what the heck am I looking at here? This is not a car fire. This looks different. And, you know, you mentioned that, the fireball, just the height of the kind of, it just looks different, right? And as fire crews arrived, and that's what we just heard from the public information officer from Nashville Fire, you know, they put it out fast.
And as you saw that, the T-dot angle, you saw how many cars were on the road. There were a lot of witnesses that saw that ball of flames burst, you know, saw the car or the plane burst into a ball of flames that had to drive by.
That's right.
And see that.
Wow, what a night. Let's go back out to Michael Warwick. They're on scene on the other side of the freeway from this fireball, which is now extinguished. But what more have you seen here? It looks like they've opened a couple of lanes and just preparing for more crews to come in.
Still right now, Tracy, the only lanes that are open are the westbound lanes here on I-40. All of the eastbound lanes are closed at this hour, and you'd imagine just from what we can see that they will be closed for quite some time. We just saw a crime scene team get on scene here, some investigators from a Metro crime scene unit that are going to be investigating here. So we've seen sort of some moving pieces here. Firefighters come, firefighters go, ambulances arrive and such. And yeah, there goes that crime scene unit, a couple vans here that are pulling up here. The actual crash itself is behind this T-dot highway response truck. So you actually can't see the crash itself from here, but it is up on this embankment, crumpled up, as you can imagine. I mean, from what they've described of this plane hitting the embankment and basically exploding, it is just a crumpled pile that almost doesn't even look recognizable. So you can actually see, just for folks that are familiar with this area, we talk about the Nashville West Shopping Center, we can actually see the big Costco sign that just goes to show how close we are to that shopping center. I mean, it is feet from the actual interstate itself, and just a short walk through some trees to the actual big shopping center. So it just goes to show how close this could have been to an even more significant tragedy. Not to underplay this at all. There are several people that have lost their life, each person that was on board that plane. But you have to think that maybe this pilot was trying to avoid more tragedy approaching the interstate, knowing that something was going very wrong. That will be for the investigators to determine. All of the units here have worked to stabilize the scene. They're shining lights down onto the debris for the FAA and the NTSB to get here and try and find, as Maria said, maybe a black box or something that can point to what went wrong. All the way down the interstate here, again, all eastbound lanes are closed, all westbound lanes are open, and it appears that will remain the case for quite some time. I know Kendra had talked about maybe opening up some lanes on the eastbound side, but from what I'm seeing, until these investigators get out here, I would definitely plan for a few more, maybe even several hours of all the eastbound lanes being closed. We're going to go back to you guys and stay out here as we update y'all on what we're seeing.
All right, Michael Warwick, thanks so much. And across both lanes of those freeways, or both directions, is the Target there in West Nashville, and that is where authorities were talking to the media, answering questions. Our Lydia Fielder, I believe, has arrived on scene. There she is. Lydia, I know it's very difficult to hear. Tell us what you know.
We just heard a press conference from Metro Police and Fire here in the Target parking lot in West Nashville. The biggest and perhaps most tragic takeaway from the presser is that everyone on board this plane died in this crash. So I'm going to review the details that we just received with you. Tonight, we know that this plane was requesting emergency landing at John Tune Airport, but they didn't make it that far, and the plane had to try to land on I-40 from south to north, and it landed in a grassy median. The fire department here said it imploded on impact, and it was a very fiery crash. They say when their firefighters arrived, they arrived to large flames, that aircraft on fire, a lot of smoke. They were able to put that out, but again, we're learning there were no survivors in this crash. Right now, they're waiting on the FAA and NTSB to get here and start their investigations. That's going to happen sometime tonight. In the meantime, the interstate is still closed. Crews are working to somewhat clean that up, as you might have seen from Michael, to where they're going to have some path around this crash. But even just behind me here on Charlotte, it is a huge line of traffic diverting from the interstate. The scene right now is being stabilized. The firefighters say when they got there, parts of that plane had exploded and strewn across the whole scene of that crash. Luckily, we asked. They said no other vehicles were involved in this. We're not aware that the plane hit any buildings or any cell towers that could be in the area. But Metro Fire and police tonight saying they're saddened by the loss of life here. They say there's no exact fatality count. They can't give us the IDs or the ages, the names of those people who died. And they also say they're working to figure out where this plane was even coming from, where it was trying to land, because in the wreckage, they couldn't even find a tail number. So again, waiting for the FAA and NTSB to get here tonight. That area is going to be closed, so expect delays. And as we learn more information, we'll of course keep you updated here on air and on our WSMV4 app. But for now, Marius and Tracy, we'll send it back to you.
Lydia Fielder, thank you so much for recapping what we learned from Metro Police and Nashville Fire Department tonight. We want to take a look at some of the videos that we have coming into the station right now.
So this is one viewer video crossing on the other side, driving by this, wondering what on earth is going on, going very slowly, but capturing that fireball after that plane landed, well, it crash landed and imploded upon impact, according to witnesses.
Yeah, that was tough to hear when she says it imploded on impact. This is another piece of video from a worker at Outback Steakhouse, and you know Outback Steakhouse is right on that hill that overlooks where that plane just went down.
So we're continuing to cycle through there so you can see what we have seen. We have, this is a picture from Metro Police, the aftermath of this plane crash, the wreckage, and you see the tail, but Don Aaron was telling us that they can't even make out a tail number to track at this point. We have been able to track just from our own efforts through Flight Aware to see where the path of this plane, because we have one of our experts tracked it to this exact crash landing spot.
It started out in Canada, made a couple flights, went to Erie, Pennsylvania, went to Kentucky as well before coming to John C. Tune here in Nashville. Right after it took off, about 3 miles south of John C. Tune is where this aircraft went down. Next,
we want to show you the exclusive images and video we got from Safety Vid from our experts over there, and you see that plane zip by in the black and white. You see that boom, looks like some kind of explosion in the background, and this turned out to be the aftermath.
Now, you saw the plane go perpendicular to, right there, perpendicular to the freeway and crash into that tuft of grass. A few more yards, that's a building. A few more yards, that's a building.
And at 7:45, you're talking about a Costco that's open. You're talking about the Target, the Dick's Sporting Goods. I mean, multiple Best Buy, all of those major big box retailers. So it is, it's hard to guess what could have happened had something else gone differently, and had this pilot, you know, not found a small place of grass to land on the shoulder of I-40.
And you see the implosion right there. How many cars are traveling on the freeway that witnessed that the moment it happened?
So we still have so many questions that will take hours to answer with the FAA out there right now, NTSB also heading in that direction. They'll be investigating for multiple hours. You see all of the emergency vehicles now moved over to the right side of the road. I don't know if that's clearing the path for more emergency vehicles to pass through or if this will eventually allow some traffic to go by, but that remains to be seen.
Yeah, once again, this is going to be a massive investigation. As you just mentioned, Tracy, the NTSB and the FAA are not even on scene right now. I'm sure they're en route and they're waiting to get the word from Metro Police and Nashville Fire Department that that scene is secure and safe for them to come in and to do their investigation. So that's going to take time as well.
Another warning, if you've got loved ones in this area, heading in this area, clearly they will be detoured off of this stretch of I-40. But that means that Charlotte Avenue and all of the neighboring, we're talking Hillwood, it'll probably extend over the Nations, probably cut even in our Channel 4 area here on Nabro. There's going to be a lot of pass-throughs where folks are trying to circumvent this accident, this awful tragedy, this plane crash, and get back on I-40 on the other side of White Bridge Road.
Yeah, once again, this happened at 7:43 this evening on I-40 eastbound near mile marker 203. A busy night of traffic out there when this plane went down. It was having power failure. It asked for permission to land, but obviously the plane did not have the power to do that.
Now, Michael Warwick is there on scene, and I know it's difficult. Michael, you're away from the authorities, so getting any communication with them is quite difficult, and I know it's really loud, so hopefully you can hear us. Anything else? Has anything else come your way here in the last few minutes, Michael?
Just watching people show up on scene to make sure that this is all ready to go for when those federal investigators get here. You got to tip your hat to the first responders who are out here. It's the fire department, it's emergency management, it's the police department, it's TDOT, making sure that this is all ready to go for those federal investigators to get in here and work fast and get us some answers as quick as they can as to what went wrong here. So we are anticipating here, they've actually just put a drone up in the air. So we're watching a drone fly overhead to get some different imaging of this crash site. Our photographer Brandon doing a great job here. He had actually said that the plane crash, which you actually can't see from our vantage point because of a truck in the way, but he had said it almost looked, it was so crumpled up that it looked like almost a helicopter because it's almost unrecognizable that it was a single engine plane that crashed here. So we are just watching an all hands on deck effort as folks try and get different vantage points to this crash, as much evidence as they can, different pictures and videos to try and piece together what occurred here. I want to reiterate for folks, obviously the travel is a concern. All westbound lanes remain open and all eastbound lanes are closed and probably will be for quite some time. Marius, Tracy, we're just watching these men and women at work right now, and we'll continue to do so as we wait for those federal investigators.
Michael, I got a quick question for you. Oftentimes when these types of aircraft go down, there's a concern about fuel. Is that something that you smell out there? Is there some, an odd smell out there?
I actually can't smell anything out of the ordinary. Brandon did just say he was out here actually maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes before I was and actually just said that, yes, he can smell a little bit of fuel. So that is an interesting observation. And, yeah, Brandon says that at some point he could smell some fuel. And that's something that's out here. Yeah, Marius.
That was the other question I had, is just your experience even getting to that location. I know at one point I mentioned wanting to zip out there and try to see if I could get any answers out there from emergency personnel. Did you have a problem getting around that and finding your way to even meet your crew?
There was a separate accident actually on White Bridge and Charlotte, right near the intersection of Charlotte and White Bridge, that had complicated some travel for the folks who were not able to travel east into downtown. For me, I was coming downtown west on I-40, so there were no issues there and was able to just pull off here on the shoulder. But for folks who were traveling east, now I don't know if that crash has been cleared up, but there was a crash on Charlotte, which was the diversion point for a lot of travelers here coming into Nashville. So for them, it wouldn't have been easy. It would have been slow going as people worked through that. But for me, it was okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just curious. I know it's not something you see hardly ever. and may never again.
Yeah.
Here in our community, I mean, we report stories such as this, you know, relatively often in other areas, but to have this happen right here in the middle of town, I mean, almost to downtown Nashville, within probably 8 minutes from downtown Nashville, this plane goes down on I-40.
And once again, several agencies are involved. We know we've heard from Metro Nashville Police, we've heard from Nashville Fire Department and the things that they're doing and what they saw when they got on scene, how it was a massive flame. They were able to put that flame out fairly quickly. And then they realized that there were several bodies on board that plane after it was put out. We know the FAA is on the way. We know the NTSB is also on the way, trying to investigate how and why this plane went down on I-40 eastbound.
We had a statement issued from BNA, but it's basically repetition of what you've heard us say multiple times here, as well as Donna Aaron from police, just kind of the facts here, because BNA does operate both. It is, oversees both. Here's the actual statement from BNA. So the NTSB and FAA will investigate this aircraft accident after Metro first responders ensure the accident scene is safe, and that is exactly what we've seen go down here. But as I was saying, because BNA runs both of these airports and is overseeing both of them, any of the official statements coming from them come from the same office. So just to let you know a little bit as to kind of how we streamline our information sources.
And once again, we probably will not know more about why this plane crashed and how it crashed until after the FAA and the NTSB get on scene and do their investigation first. I'm sure we'll hear from witnesses who saw things, but they won't know why that plane went down.
It's also interesting that we did get that one little nugget, which was that the pilot had radioed and said, we're not going to make it. We are not going to make it to John C. Toon, and they're going down, and that was the last we heard.
And you have to ask yourself that the small piece of grass between the freeway and the buildings.
For that pilot
Yes.
to have found this small little area right here, away from other people and families affected, away from not hitting one of these big box retailers, that's one of those alarming. Can you even imagine the fear? That's when you have fears of terrorism happening, you know, after 9/11 for sure.
And once again, it's 7:45 at night, so all of those stores are packed with people.
Right, exactly. And with darkness out there, it is just really scary. So Lydia Fielder, you were out there listening to authorities earlier tonight. I think you can hear us now. Tell us what more you have learned, and tell us what you're seeing. Is there a big crowd out there where you are? In the Target?
Well, Tracy, not a big crowd. We are in the Target parking lot, the West Target parking lot of Charlotte. I will tell you, just above me here, behind me, there's a hill where the road is. That is just lined with cars and semi-trucks diverting around the interstate. Again, just minutes ago, we finished up a press conference here in the parking lot, and they chose this location because this crash happened very close by. We're learning that there were no survivors in this single-engine plane crash. The pilot of that plane asked for emergency approval to land at John Toon, but they didn't make it. We asked, and they said that emergency call came in, the Mayday call came in around 7:40 p.m., and the calls to first responders about the crash came in at 7:44. So it was a short time. The Metro Police said the pilot was struggling, having trouble even getting it obviously to John Toon, and chose, maybe didn't choose to land where they did on the grassy median on I-40. Metro Police and Fire say they're working with federal authorities now to figure out where the plane came from. Witnesses say the plane was coming over I-40 from the north, and it crossed over the lanes of the interstate and then again crashed on the grassy median. I asked if any cars were involved here, because obviously that's a huge risk with so many vehicles on the interstate. Amazingly, police said no, there were no vehicles hit by this plane. The fire department said when the plane crashed, it imploded. It went up in flames. Firefighters arrived to a scene of smoke and fire. Again, no vehicles or buildings hit, but there was debris from that plane scattered all over this scene here. They were able to put that fire out and keep enough evidence there from that scene for federal authorities again to investigate. So tonight we are waiting on the FAA and the NTSB. They're going to be coming in and putting this all together. They said in the meantime, looking for a tail number even to track where this plane was from or who might have been on board. They couldn't find that in the wreckage. So they're, in the meantime, again, diverting people off the interstate here to Charlotte Pike. That section of the interstate is going to be closed for some time, so avoid that area tonight if you're planning on going out. And they're going to be working to figure out what caused this accident, but it's going to be some time before we learn who was involved here and who those people that died in that crash tonight are. Tracy Marius.
Lydia Fielder, thank you so much. And, you know, Lydia made a great point. The identities of the people. We know several people died. We don't know if several means 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't know that. We still have to wait for the investigation to carry on. But the identities of the people on this plane, still a question mark right now.
Lots of questions here tonight, and lots of questions, especially from what we have been able to determine from FlightAware, telling us that this plane had been in motion all day long.
Yes, it has been in motion all day long.
And you're talking all the way from the north up in Canada through to the northeast, and then through Kentucky, and then down here to Nashville. Yeah, you've got the exact thing pulled up right now.
Yeah, it was in Canada for a couple of flights, then from Canada it went to Erie, Pennsylvania. From Erie, Pennsylvania, it went to Mount Sterling, Kentucky. From Mount Sterling, Kentucky, that's when it went to Nashville.
There's a lot of questions there, too, as to how many checks and balances and what's done in between all of these destinations, and if it's the same pilot navigating all of these stretches. So
who owns the plane?
Exactly. We have so many questions that we will be working on through the night and tomorrow to get answers to. Right now, all we know is what we have been sharing, and you see there on the right side of your screen, the aftermath. That is the plane's tail. This is the fuselage area. That is all that's left, but fire crews did a great job putting that out as fast as they could, as Lydia mentioned, to make sure preserved as much as they could. And when it comes to any of the human remains found on board.
Yeah, we want to give you another look at some of the video that we have. Some of our viewers have been sending to us. This is a view from the interstate right after the plane went down. You could see the ball of flames, how massive that ball of flames is.
And then the next piece of video here from another this time a worker from Outback Steakhouse, perched on top of the hill that overlooks that crash scene. Taking a look at that right there. And then this is a picture from Metro Police.
We just got a tweet from Mayor Freddie O'Connell. He says, our thoughts go out to the loved ones of all of those on board this single engine aircraft that crashed near Interstate I-40 this evening. The NTSB and the FAA will lead the investigation into what led to that crash. That is from Mayor Freddie O'Connell.
The next piece is a video that you'll see here, again, coming from SafetyVid and one of our exclusive experts here, and you'll only see it here. That's this, boom, that TDOT camera of the plane crossing over the camera, and then you see in the background whatever it was that sparked what looked like an explosion, and of course that was the actual crash. This then dissolves to that crash site. A
lot of traffic on the freeway as that plane was crossing perpendicular into that tuft of grass, as you see right there, and then you see the flash of light when, as Kendra Loney from Nashville Fire Department said, it imploded on impact.
So these are the only facts we have here as we continue to keep our crews active on the scenes, getting as much information as they possibly can so that we can send it out to you in our WSMV4 News app, as well as here in our broadcast station, as well as on our streaming platforms. We know multiple people, and this, wow, that is such a telling piece of video, isn't it?
It's hard to watch.
Something you just don't see very often here. Several killed in this small plane crash tonight in West Nashville.
And once again, we will be getting the very latest information as it comes in, and we will be sending that to you on our app, WSMV4 app, and we'll bring you the latest as we learn it.
We want to go to another top story here before you guys head to bed, and that is our weather. First alert, meteorologist Lisa Spencer. We have some changes headed our way here tonight.
We do. The rain has not moved in, so weather definitely not a factor for us this evening with that plane crash, but we are looking at weather tomorrow with rain and some thunderstorms. That will be moving in as we get into the morning. Temperatures will be dropping from where we were today. We were 78 degrees this afternoon, the warmest we have been since last year. Drier and nicer weather's coming up for Thursday. We've got more rain in the forecast for Friday and continuing into Saturday. This is our next weather maker, this front that's going to be moving through, plus a lot of moisture that will be coming up from the south. Those two converging will give us a rather wet day with scattered showers and some thunderstorms tomorrow. We're not expecting those storms to be severe, so all this moisture will continue to work on towards the east. Will dry out later in the afternoon coming up on Wednesday. But we are looking at an increase in clouds for us tonight. We don't really see anything right now. There are a few little showers over there not too far from Selmer, but you can see just on the edge of our radar that we are starting to see some of that moisture moving in from the west. 64 degrees right now in Nashville, 63 in Lebanon. We're at 65 in Dixon and 63 for you in Lewisburg and also into Lawrenceburg right now. It has been a pleasant night in Franklin with these very comfortable temperatures, and also a pleasant night in Nashville with temperatures well above average for this time of year. Now tracking those showers on Futurecast, here comes this moisture starting out, just a few showers, and then we'll see that scattering across the area as we go throughout the day tomorrow. So just be prepared. It may not be exactly where it's positioned on the map right now because these will be scattered. So just have that umbrella with you, your wet weather gear. This is going to last throughout the evening as well. But the good news, again, we're not expecting the storms to be severe. Now, by Wednesday, notice this system is trying to pull away. So just some folks will be dealing with it, mainly east of I-65 is the way it looks right now. And then that will taper off into the afternoon. Our pollen count for us was high today, but it will start to decrease Tuesday, Wednesday, as we get more rain in here to wash those pollen, wash the pollen out of the atmosphere. Tomorrow morning, we are looking at rain for that morning drive, so be sure and be back with us in the morning. Stefano DiPietro will be here to track what's on the radar right now. Coming up for tomorrow is 60 degrees at 6 o'clock, 63 right around 8. And again, we're looking at some isolated thunderstorms in there too. We are looking at those showers and a few storms to continue throughout the afternoon. 67 at 1, 68 degrees at 4, and 63 at 7 o'clock for tomorrow. Our first alert forecast taking us through the next 7 days. We do have the showers and storms on Tuesday at 68, 68 degrees coming up on Wednesday. And then there's that dry day I was talking about for Thursday with 69 degrees for a high. We've got some rain continuing, or actually rejuvenating, because we're going to see another front come through on Friday. So that rain will continue right on through Saturday. And notice the temperature drop there. A little reminder for you, this weekend is time change weekend. We do have a nice end to the weekend with 62 and sunshine on Sunday.
Lisa Spencer, thank you so much. Once again, recapping our top story. A small aircraft has gone down on I-40 eastbound near mile marker 203. We know several people have lost their lives.
Want to go back out to Michael Warwick for one final live shot there from the scene. Michael.
Yeah, and just seeing the response from first responders just points to the severity of this situation. Right now, at this hour, we're watching as investigators with some flashlights we saw. It's going to be hard to see the debris from behind that truck, but there are drones up in the air and some crime scene investigators with cameras and some flashlights analyzing the debris that's left behind from this crash, all up and down the eastbound lanes. Our first responders and all of those lanes are closed here on I-40, but the westbound lanes are open. Right now, it's just a matter of stabilizing this scene as we wait for the FAA and the NTSB. Lights are shining down on this crash site as those federal investigators get out here to piece together what went wrong that caused such a significant crash and such a significant loss of life. Several people, all of them on board, dead in this crash right behind the Nashville West Shopping Center. We are anticipating at some point the eastbound lanes will reopen, but there's no timetable on that, and I would just sort of guess for drivers that it will be at least a few hours. Marius, Tracy.
Michael Warwick, thank you. I got one last question for you, Michael. You saw some of the crime scene investigators out there pull up. We saw 2 vans pull up later. Are you seeing more people pull up, more investigators, more of a presence pulling up to the scene?
Yeah, we sure are, and we saw 2 big vans that came down. They looked like Metro crime scene investigators, but we've even seen some additional ambulances at some point, some additional TDOT units as well. So it's kind of a come and go, very fluid situation. But yeah, we have seen at least 2 or 3 vans of crime scene investigators pull up here. They didn't appear to be federal, but Metro Police, and we're waiting on those federal folks right now to take a look themselves and determine what went wrong.
All right, Michael Warwick, thank you so much for reporting live for us.
Let's go back to Lydia Fielder also for her final thoughts here and from what you're seeing and hearing tonight.
Yeah, Maria's Tracy, just wrapping up a press conference with Nashville Police and Fire. Again, the biggest piece of information we're learning is there were no survivors in this crash. We don't know how many people died or who they are just yet, but here's what we know happened. A call came in, a mayday call went out rather, at 7:40 p.m. from that plane saying, hey, we need to emergency land at John Tune. That plane did not make it and instead crash landed on a grassy median on I-40 where Michael just was at 7:44. So not much time in between that mayday call and when the plane went down. Witnesses say as they saw it going over the interstate, it was in distress is what they described. When the plane crashed, it went up in flames. It imploded on impact and debris went everywhere. Now, amazingly, in this whole process, no vehicles or buildings were hit. As we know, the interstate is closed now, and we are just waiting. The NTSB and FAA now on their way tonight to start this whole investigation. But our thoughts and prayers are going out to everyone involved here. Tracy, Marius.
Lydia Fielder, thank you. Absolutely. We will have the very latest on News 4 Today starting tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. But before we go, you've been seeing some of the most compelling shots. This is, though, something that just stops you in your tracks. From Safety Vid, it's exclusive here at WSMV. You're only seeing it here from our experts there, and you see that plane fly right in front of the T-Dot camera. You see that boom, it looks like an explosion, and then you see this here on the ground again. That fireball resulting in such a loss of life. We don't even know the number of people on board that plane.
Yeah, what you saw was the plane go perpendicular across the east-west lanes on I-40 and crash into that grassy median between buildings and the freeway there.
And again, a lot of people are going to be talking about this. How did that pilot do it? Was it an accident? Did he purposely try to avoid hitting any cars, which we saw in an accident just in the last couple of days, last couple of weeks down in Naples? Was he trying to avoid cars on the road? Was he trying to avoid those big box stores? Just 3 miles from John Tune Airport, where things could have gone so much differently tonight. But we're going to get all of those answers, or as many as we possibly can, overnight and bring you the very latest tomorrow.
Yeah, we know that the plane was experiencing power failure. He asked to land the plane, but that plane did not make it. Once again, we're going to have the very latest on our morning show. WSMV 4 Today. It starts at 4 a.m.
Have a good night, everybody.